Hi guys, welcome to my channel once again. This is Naturally-Roshani here again with another video. As you have seen with the title, today I will be doing my part 1 of my testimony leading to my deliverance in 2017. So this is going to be a long testimony, so I'm going to cut it in pieces, part 1, part 2, and so on forward. So let's begin. So my name is Naturally-Roshani. So I was born in Nairobi, Kenya. I was born in Nairobi, Kenya in 1986. So I grew up without knowing who my biological father was or is, and I was raised by my grandparents in Kitui, Kenya, and that's the village. Yes, I was raised in a village. I'm the girl that grew up in the village, and I loved it actually, because the village, you know, that is where you eat fresh fruits, fresh food. Everything is always scratched and nothing is preservatives. That's where I thank God for my hair. Well, I thank God that my natural hair is nice and healthy because of my grandmother. Like, she used to give me like some healthy food. I breastfed for like 2 to 3 days, and then I was sent to live with my grandparents. So my grandparents raised me, and I'm forever thankful for them. So yeah, so that is all I remember. I don't remember much growing up with my grandparents. I mean, I do remember a lot. I remember my grandpa. I used to dance with my grandpa. He used to share his food with me. He used to do a lot of things. Good stuff. My mom came to pick me up and take me to Nairobi to live with her. And at that time, we were having nannies to take care of us. And then my aunt, who's my mom's younger sister, decided that she was going to come and live with us in order for her to take care of us for free, instead of having strangers like nannies taking care of us. And when I say us, it's me and my sister, and also my brother. Yeah. So my mom came and picked me up and took me to Nairobi. And before that, actually, my grandpa had advised her not to pick me up, not to go and live with her. But my grandpa wanted me to live with him. He wanted me to grow up in the village, and if I chose to live with my mom in the future, then that would have been my choice to live with her. But my mom said no. She said, no, I'm gonna take my child. So she took me to Nairobi. And to be honest, I don't remember much what happened in Nairobi. I don't remember from when she took me to the point where I started remembering what happened. So I remember, I believe I was in either 6th grade. No, oh my God, not 6th grade. I'm sorry. I believe 6 years old, I believe, because I used to go to a public school in Kenya, and yeah, so I used to go to a public school in Kenya, and I don't really remember much. I do remember that when I was living with my mom in Kenya, it wasn't a good experience for me. Like, she didn't treat me good, you know. She had a lot of anger towards me, and I just never knew why she had so much anger towards me. Like, she would beat me. Like, if I do like something little, she would just beat me, like with like, not even a belt. It was like one of those. It was like a rubber thingy. I don't know what we used to call it, tom at that time. I don't know, tom or whatever. But it used to be like a rubber slingy. Like, when you remember one of those things, those long whips or whatever. Yeah. So sometimes she would whip me with that. Like, she just was an angry woman. I don't know what I've ever done to her, because I did not ask myself to be born, or I didn't ask her to be my mother or whatever. But it was a very, very bad experience for me. So she was very angry, an angry woman. But anyways, so when I was either 6 years old or 7 years old, I was taken to live. She took me to live with her husband's brother. So that's her brother-in-law. So that she told me to live there in Mathare North. So if you are a Kenyan, I'm pretty sure you know where that is, Mathare North. That's where I went to live with my mom's brother-in-law's family. And the reason why she took me there is because she said that I was not concentrating in school. Like, that was her excuse of me sending me there, is because like I wasn't doing well in school or whatever. But the reason why I wasn't doing well in school is because of the trauma that I was going through in the house. Like, she was an angry woman. I was always scared of her. Like, I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, I was really scared of her and all that stuff. So that's why I wasn't really performing well. But anyway, so that was her excuse. So they took me to live there, and it was, when I went to live there, it was a very traumatic experience for me, because first of all, the woman did not like me. When I say the woman, my mom's brother-in-law's wife did not like me. She did not feed me sometimes. Sometimes I would go days without food because she would choose not to feed me for whatever reason. She was jealous of my hair because my hair was so nice, long and puffy, and just like how y'all see my natural hair. That's how my natural hair was. And she would shave it bald. So I would always go to school bald, and I'll see other girls with hair, but that never bothered me at all, to be honest. But yeah, it was a very bad traumatic experience for me, very terrible. And I lived there for like a year, because I was in 3rd grade, no, 2 years, because 3rd grade I went there. I went to a school called Combingo High School in Madurai North in 3rd grade and 4th grade. Now, I surprisingly, I did pretty good. Actually, I was doing pretty good, because the only person that was giving me a hard time was the mom. But her sons were not that, they really didn't care much for, like, it was like whatever for me. And the husband, he was really nice. Sometimes he would give me money to go buy food at school, which was really nice. Like, he would always treat me well, just like he would treat his own children. The only traumatic experience that I had was one of the sons, I'm not gonna name them. One time he actually was trying to like have sex with me or something, and I pushed him away. I thought that was weird, because I'm like, okay, we're cousins, why would you do? It was so weird. But like, I don't understand some people, like, yeah. But I never told anybody that experience, because I pushed him away and he never touched me again. After that, like, life went on, like, just the same thing. Just I kind of got used to it, whatever. I was very skinny and stuff like that, you know. That never bothered me anyways. So one time, my uncle, my favorite uncle, whom died in 1995, he came to visit me one day in that house. And I was like, how do you know I was living here? I guess my mom told you, I don't know. But he came to visit, and I was so happy when he came to visit. He didn't even stay for too long, but he came to see me. And I was hugging him so tight. I didn't want him to leave me. I don't know, don't leave me here. Take me with you. Take me with you. But he couldn't take me with him, because obviously I understand, like, he couldn't take me with him because legally that would be wrong. It's like kidnapping. So he didn't take me. But when he left, you know what I did? I followed him. I said, you know, I'm gonna go after him. So but by the time, because it took a while for me to like come up with that idea. So I was like, you know, should I go? Should I not? Should I go? Should I not? But I decided I was gonna go after him. By the time I went out, he was not there. But I remember I ran for a long distance, just looking for him, looking everywhere, looking sideways, because I remember what he was wearing, and I would look, but I didn't find him. So I just went back to the house and lived life. A couple months later, my mom came. Apparently she had come to take me with her. And when she came to take me with her, she took me. I did not go straight home or with her. I actually went to a school. I forget the name of that school, but if I remember the name of that school, I'm gonna put it up here. I went to a boarding school. She took me to a boarding school in Thika. And so I was in 4th grade, I remember. Yes, so I was in 4th grade when I went to that boarding school, and I actually lived there. She had clothes, she had blankets, she had like everything that I needed, like soaps, you know, everything that you need in a boarding school. She had it for me, and I went there and I lived there. I went to school there. You know, it was actually fun, because it's more freedom. I didn't have many friends because I was a loner. I just wanted to be by myself. I was a loner kid and whatever, because I didn't have, again, I grew up in a dysfunctional family, so I didn't know how to make friends. But I had a couple friends here and there. So one day there was this girl who was in 5th grade, and it was an all-girls school, by the way. It was a Catholic school, an all-girls school. And this girl, she came to me and she was trying to like talk to me like in a way that she liked me or whatever. And I was like, yo, I was like, no, I'm not interested. But that was just one of those crazy things that happened in school, you know. That's why, well, you know, this is off topic, but anyways, one of the things that confused me when I went to boarding school, like, you know, they have these days where your parents come visit you, or you're like your friends, or like your parents or your loved ones that are not in the school come visit you. So I would always see this all the time, and I would never have any visitors to come see me. And it was one of the saddest thing ever as a child, as a 4th grader. You know, when you're still a child, yeah, you're still a child when you're in 4th grade, you're a baby. But I never got any visitation whatsoever from anybody, not from my mother, not from anyone. And I always wondered why, and it would bother me so much, because I used to see like people, you know, students who had their parents come with like food, like biscuits and chips. They call them chips. Over here we call them French fries. They would bring in French fries and cookies, biscuits, and like gifts and stuff. And I would like, and there were other kids that did not even have any, either they didn't have people come visit them anyway either. But like for me, it was very confusing. And you know, life went on. You know, we didn't have no cell phones back in the day. That's why we had those visitation days. And so there's this one time, I remember, it was just one time I remember, like, all of a sudden, like, I saw my mom come, and my aunt who was living with us when I left, obviously, she was taking care of us, and another aunt who's my mom-in-law's sister. She came in with another lady. I forget that lady's name. I don't remember that name, that lady. And my younger sister and my younger brother, they came to visit me, and I was confused. I was like, why are they here? But I was confused and I was happy at the same time. Happy to see them. I'm happy to see them. And yeah, they stayed there. My aunt braided my hair. No, not my aunt. It was another lady that braided my hair. She braided my hair cornrows. Back in the day, they used to call them lines. If you're Kenyan, I'm pretty sure you would know that it was lines. But yeah, cornrows. It was a nice hairstyle, and we had a good time and stuff like that. And then when they were leaving, I did the same thing I did for my uncle. When they were leaving, I decided that I wanted to go with them because I missed them so much. You know, love, you know what I'm saying? So I ran after them. When they had left, I started running. Ran. I remember I could actually, like, I could see myself running in those red, the soil, it was red, like the dirt was red. But yeah, so I was running, but I never found them. So I came back to the school and continued my journey as a 4th grader in a boarding school. So life went on. I had the same clothes. I was wearing the same clothes since I didn't have any new clothes or whatever, because when they came to visit me, they didn't really bring a lot of things. They just brought like food, but no clothes, or no, because we used to wear uniforms, no new uniform or whatever. But I was really skinny, so I could wear the same clothes for like years and years. So anyways, so life went on. And then during that same year, I think during the end of the, like, almost half of the year, almost half of the school year is coming to the end, my mom, I heard my name in the calling my name. I heard you know, because they had like I forget what they call this thing when you hear people calling, like you're in a classroom and then you hear your name on the machine, so and so come to the office. So I heard my name being called. And so I went to the main office. When I went to the main, now it was the headmistress who called me. And so the headmistress is actually a principal. We call them principals over here. But in Kenya, and also in England or in Europe, they call them headmistress. So she called me, and I went to the office, and she was like, oh, you know why I called you here? I'm like, no, I don't know why you called me here. and she said, oh, I called you here because your mom came to take you because you guys are leaving for America. And I'm like, I wasn't really surprised. I wasn't like jumping and feeling, oh my God, you know, no. It was like, oh, okay, cool, you know. I didn't know where America was because we never learned it in school, because I was in 4th grade. We didn't really learn any geographical areas other than Kenya at that time. So when she said we were going to America, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So my mom, she packed my stuff, and the headmistress was like, okay, when you go to America, work hard, do a good job, get a good job, and don't be a bad girl, stuff like that. I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, so we took the bus back to Nairobi. Yes. And so when we came to Nairobi, I don't remember much what happened between those days or whatever, but I do remember that we were preparing ourselves to go to a trip in Mombasa. Yes, so I remember we went to Mombasa. We drove there. It was a very weird trip, actually. I remember we were riding on a truck outside, like those mini trucks. At that time, I was having trouble with my eyes for some reason. My eyes became sick. Actually, my eyes became sick before going to Mombasa, because I remember before going to Mombasa, we went to the village where my mom is married to. So that's her husband's village. And at that time, I was told to, you know, to prepare some firewood. So when I went to prepare the firewood, the dust of the firewood or whatever came to my eyes, and my eyes, from that day, my eyes changed. And I thought that was really weird, because I never knew that dust could actually change your eyes. That could make your eyes sick. So my eyes was very sick. I couldn't look, I couldn't see at all. My eyes were like, the white part was actually brown, like you see, like brown, like it was like my skin color. And then I have the eyeball, so that's how bad my eyes looked, actually. And there was no doctor that could solve that situation. They did some herb, like they gave me some herbal, like my mom's family-in-law, where she married to, her brother-in-law gave me some herbs that I would wash my eyes every single time. But whenever, every single time I'd wash my eyes with those herbs, my eyes would get even worse and worse and worse. So anyway, so when we went to Mombasa, like my experience was not good because I was having trouble with my eyes and stuff like that. But the weirdest part was when we went to Mombasa, we actually went to this place. It was in the bushes. Like I remember we walked, we took the truck, and then we rented a hotel, and then after that we went and took the ferry. After taking the ferry, we got out, and then we had to walk into a place that in the bushes, like in a forest, like. And now we found ourselves in this weird place where people were like they didn't wear any clothes. They had all these marks on their faces, on their bodies and stuff, and they lived in the forest. And if I remember that name of the place, I'm gonna put it up here for anyone that wants to know where that place is. It's down in Mombasa. So when we went there, we had to go through some rituals. I remember when it was raining at one time, and they took a chicken, they slaughtered the chicken, and they chanted some weird things, and then they put the blood on our bodies. Like they did some stuff. They put they had like marks on our bodies, charcoal and the blood, everything. We had to roll, like we had to like roll. You know how there is a fire that they tell you drop, roll. So anyways, we did some type of ritual like that. We had to drop and like roll down the grass, and it was so weird. But that's one of the things I remember when we went to that place in Mombasa. And after that, we went back to the hotel, and then I remember that we journeyed back to Nairobi. When we journeyed back to Nairobi, that is a time that I actually that's the time that we were preparing to come to America. So yes, so we told our families, people that we knew, like our grandparents, aunts, uncles, you know, bye and stuff like that. And we rented a hotel in Nairobi, Hotel Milimani. That is where we stayed for like a week or so before actually leaving to come to America. Okay, so that is the end of my part 1 of my testimony. Guys, stay tuned for part 2. I will begin part 2 next time. make sure that you subscribe to my channel to hear my testimony. And also I also share other videos as well. I share hair videos, I share fitness videos, and some vlogs. But I feel like this is a time for me to release my testimony. Okay guys, so if you are new here, welcome to my channel. Please consider subscribing if you are loving what you are seeing. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate you. All right guys, I will see you guys on my part 2. Bye bye.